Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some Halo 5 gameplay. The score in the background is an 18-4. This is taking place on the map Pegasus yet again. Apologies for bringing you the same gameplay twice in a row, but I've been really enjoying my time with this map. I've been spending a lot of time on it, and this is just a quite nice gameplay that I wanted to post to you guys. I'm still loving the dynamic of the rocket launcher and the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle kind of has to be sneaky, and he has to find lines of sight to get against the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher is a very dangerous weapon in this map, but the rocket launcher isn't quite as good as we've seen in previous games. I think what I like about Halo 5 is not only is it harder to acquire power weapons. In Halo 4 they kind of dumbed that side of the game down a little bit by adding in ordnance, where you could get weapons for free. They made it harder to get them, but they also made it harder to maintain them. A lot of the power weapons have a slower reload, they have less auto aim, and just overall mechanics that don't make it easy and don't make it free. You kind of have to learn the gun inside out and the way in which it works. You know, you can see this with guns like the rocket launcher, the Prophet's Bane, and the energy sword, and the sniper rifle to some extent. Now, the sniper rifle, a lot of people are saying feels a little bit on the clunky side and doesn't necessarily feel as responsive as people would like it to. But I do think, you know, with balancing, it will be a difficult but also really satisfying weapon to use. I definitely think they should rework the sound design though still and make it sound like a cannon. But yeah, I really do like the balance of the power weapons so far in this game, and it feels so satisfying and rewarding to go on like a frenzy with one of the power weapons in this game, because in Halo 4 that kind of seemed to feel like it was taken for granted a little bit. When I got a energy sword, there was a lot of times where I would get all 10 kills with that energy sword in one go, and it wouldn't seem that challenging to do so because the auto aim was so high on it, and with sprint combined and with all the flanking routes that you get on Halo 4, it was a little bit more taken for granted, whereas this game has brought back that rewarding feeling of going off in Halo. You really feel like you're achieving something every time you destroy people in this game, and I don't want that to end. But on the subject of Halo 5, I also have my concerns right now with the game and where it's currently heading and where the hype's at right now, because I think following MCC and moving into Halo 5 Guardians Beta, what I've seen is a bit of a drop-off in retention and excitement for the game. There's not that feeling of buzz and there's not that feeling of electricity in the community right now, and this is more of a hunch. I don't have the stats to back this up, to be honest. When I go on my Xbox friends list, all I see is like 3 friends online, perhaps. I see Twitter, and I don't see much, you know, buzz about it. I don't see much chatter about it. I don't see hype generating. And although a lot of people who have played it and have spent time with the game actually end up liking it to some extent for the most part, unless you go on Beyond Entertainment forums, then that's obviously a different story. But there are a lot of people who are enjoying their time with the game. However, what I feel like there's been a mistake in this beta is just focusing so hard on arena shooter gameplay and making sure they nailed that. But the BR had a slightly different scope on the top. People would probably describe it as a heretic and a disgrace to the Halo formula as a result, and the fact that they've just so narrowly attacked the arena portion of the game without getting the casuals invested in any way, shape or form has kind of made me worry about this game's future and what their plan is going forward, because in my opinion, the console market space has become entirely more casual. It really has, you know, whether you like to admit it or not. Ever since Call of Duty started taking off, and you look at the FPS market in general recently, and what seems to thrive in this space, in this market space, is more casually catered games. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I think that Halo 5 shouldn't have these competitive elements, that they shouldn't be working towards, you know, creating these pro brackets and creating a rewarding, fulfilling experience for players who want to explore that avenue. But I think to have that avenue, you first need to draw in a large player space, and the mechanics that I'm seeing will work here, and the overall flow of the game isn't something that I see casuals' jaws dropping. If you look at a lot of games that were advertised in recent years, you see Titanfall with its mechs falling from the sky, its sprawling metropolises, bots, titans. It overall felt innovative when you watch the trailers. Obviously, the execution of the game was not quite up to standard, up to snuff, but there was something to be excited about there. There was something new that we hadn't seen. Mech gameplay intertwined with free running. It was new, it was different, and it was something to be invested in and get interested in. The same could be said of Watch Dogs. Once again, execution not too hot. But at the end of the day, it had this idea of taking control over the city, of using switches and using electricity to basically, take control of your environment. And it felt futuristic, and it felt edgy, and it felt new and fresh. And Halo 5, they've done themselves a miracle. They've given themselves a leg up by making sure and ensuring that the base mechanics work correctly and are far more fluid and far more satisfying than those other games I just mentioned. But what they need to do is the other piece of the puzzle, and that's get something which is extremely exciting, which only this game can offer. Because if you look at the new mechanics in terms of ground pound, if you look at the new mechanics in terms of thruster pack, clamber, these are abilities we've seen in other FPS games. There's nothing new there. You couldn't put ground pound on the front of the box and sell your game to millions of gamers at home. They need something that separates it from the pack, and I think their way of doing this, should be of doing this, and maybe this is already in mind, I hope so, for my own benefit, is having a separate mode which is similar to Invasion, and it's something on the lines of 32 versus 32, or 16 versus 16 at the very least, multiplayer, where it's just a larger scale. It's noticeably large, and the scale of the objectives that you're completing is also large. What I was thinking of something like a phase-based invasion mode, where it's like the first objective could be take warthogs and do a mission which is similar to like the last mission of Halo 3, where everyone needs to drive to this place and people are falling off left, right, and center, but they need to get to this power core to plug it in, and there's a wave of obstacles, and the enemy team, the opposing team, the elites, are trying to stop you from doing that. Then the next mode was something like a scarab. Now the scarab, you have to get inside of it, you have to go up lifts, you have to take it down from the inside out. You're calling out to your teammates, you're saying, we need to get in there and take out the power core now. There's people manning the turrets right now. There's elites getting on top of the scarab, jumping off, jetpacking around, and going absolutely crazy with beam rifles and raining down hellfire on you. And then the last mode could be something like a airborne assault mission, where it's like banshees and pelicans and phantoms all waging war at each other, bullets whizzing past each other, and just overall excitement and chaos. I think something like that it would lend itself very well to Halo's dynamic environment, and would also add something fresh, and it's something to put in the trailers, it's something to get people excited, and you still have your competitive modes there to enhance the game once you learn the mechanics through that invasion mode. Because right now, the casual players don't really have anywhere to go to. They only have a choice of getting destroyed in matchmaking, and some people don't like getting destroyed. Some people don't like those close games. Not every single player out there likes being pushed to their limits, especially when they just got off work, or especially when they're new to FPSs. They just want to have a fun little environment where they can mess around with their friends, talk, and enjoy themselves. Even me, who has played this game for countless hours and is constantly calling out, sometimes I long for a break where I can just chat to my friends and chat to other YouTubers whilst playing the game kind of mindlessly, and a mode like that would really put it to the top in my opinion. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I've been Modest Major. Thanks for watching. Peace.